Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with his Friday expert, Mr. Stephen Dow. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. And yourself?
I'm doing well, man. A couple of things. So first off, get the marketing thing out of the way so I don't
Thank
forget.
you for remembering. Although I work very happily for Velocity Mortgage Capital, all the ideas and topics discussed on this channel are that of my own. So let's get it going.
So you were asking me off camera about what I'm doing in Fresno, and I'm like, you know what? I'm an open book. Let's just ask the question.
Other than baking, like us here in
it's
Texas,
pretty hot.
I heard you guys. Yeah, I heard
it's pretty warm. But
you want the man with the black turtleneck.
Yeah, it's cold at 7 a.m. man. It's cold. So you wanted to ask me a question. I think it's important for people to realize what I'm doing. So go ahead and ask, and we'll get into it.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, I'm also a student as well. So, I'm trying to just pick up some tips, but and what are you doing in Fresno specifically? Because, that market, I'm getting a lot of interest as well, believe it or not, in other callers. So I was just trying to figure out, hey, what are you doing specifically?
Yeah. So again, I'm trying to be an open book. There's really three things that I'm doing in Fresno today. One is you helped me with, again, I've actually used your service. You helped me get just nutty low interest rate on some equity cash outs.
Yeah, let's not rub salt in the open
no, I'm
yet. Yeah,
I'm not going to say the numbers.
It's a little too early still.
Yeah, it's too early. But yeah, you helped me with that. It was about 9 months ago. Rates were entirely a different picture then. So the first thing I did was prepare, right? I've been doing this for 20 some odd years. The chance you need to, what people don't realize is you need to borrow money from lenders when they want to give it away. Because when lenders get scared, they get tighter. The criteria goes up, cost of, it's just, I've seen the movie before. So the first thing we did was prepare. Okay. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, I want to leverage seller financing, right? You and I just by happenstance put together what we now call the 50-40-10. You were gracious enough to do a deep dive on that, folks. There's a playlist called Deep Dive. If you don't know what the 50-40-10 is, it is the strategy I'm hoping to use. So a couple of things that I'm doing on this, because I want to prove it works. So first thing, it's funny you bring this up. Just this morning at 7 a.m., I did my second live stream. I did one of these about 6 weeks ago, basically telling Fresno agents, Fresno home sellers, hey, I'm here to buy, millions of dollars to deploy, but here's what I'm looking for. 50-40-10, sellers got to carry. People blew me off. Totally fine. I totally expect that. I've been in this show before. I just did this one this morning because I'm hearing the Fresno market is slowing down. Shocking. I told you it was coming. So I just did it. I just did another one, but for you, I'm doing something extra. So I have a team in Fresno. I have that office building, which you helped me get a loan on. I'm paying $1,000 a month to do this mailer. I am pushing the word housing crash. We are still buying, and it's all about seller financing on the back. And it's $1,000 a month out to owners with 60% equity. Why? Because I need them to carry a second in the 50-40-10, right? At up to 40%. So in short, I am communicating. To me, it's like chopping wood. I expect to be chopping wood probably for the next 3 or 4 months. Every couple of weeks, I'm still buying. I'm spending on marketing. We got about a dozen phone calls say, tell me more. Again, this is going to be a repetitive process. But the short answer, Steve, is I expect to deploy millions of dollars, 10% down on long-term buy and hold cash flow rentals that produce above a 9% yield. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to prove it works. We're having some casual conversations now, but that's what I'm looking to do. So I'm just going to use the program.
I mean, I know this is, kind of funny to also bring up, but I've actually got a deal in right now, and I had to share. I don't know if it's real or not. It's all going to come down to the appraisal, obviously. But somebody came across a off-market deal. Seller's very motivated, was willing to carry 100%. I don't know, and supposedly at 0%. So how we structured it was 17, 73, 10. So at a bare minimum, based upon the price that the seller is wanting, we're doing $75,000, which is our minimum loan requirement on the first.
Oh, I got it.
And the seller's going to carry the rest, and this guy's only coming in with 10%.
There you go. I mean,
I know. So the combination is just like,
Yeah. So again, this framework, again, the reason I chose 50 as I put it out there is that gives me the best rates from velocity. Let's not be
right.
You could go up to, whatever, 80% or whatever in a
75
CLT,
actually,
or 75.
right.
Sorry. Thank you
right.
for correction.
My pleasure.
But I did the 50, 40, 10 because I wanted the best rates. 75% loan is a higher cost than 50. Just
right.
factual, right? So that's why I did it. But yeah, you can get creative, man. You could do like a 30. I think somebody's going to do a 30, 60, 10. Right. So,
oh, no. I mean, there's already, I'm doing the pre-approvals for those types of dynamics. Mm-hmm. Whether or not the seller has accepted just yet, we're still waiting, but they're making these offers.
Yeah. So actually we'll make that video number 2. I'd love to hear how students are doing this, because I know it started kind of slow, because 50, 40, 10 introduces a couple of things that are new to people. One, seller financing. People hear about it all the time, but they don't really get it. So that's why you and I did a 90-minute deep dive. We talked about how I would pitch it, all of that stuff. It talks about a first and a second. Again, people hear that, but they don't know what it is. Is it just a handshake? Is it a recorded deed? What are all these things? Then you talk about tax savings and maintain income, and it's just a whole pitch, right? It takes time and repetition. So that's why we've talked about it, I don't know, a dozen times. So we'll talk about others. The last thing I want to make very clear is, I did it in my live stream this morning. I said in the live stream this morning that on the 40, right, the seller second, I'm probably going to have to pay a low interest rate. And I even said 1%. Why is that? Because again, I don't care about price, right? When I told that in that video, I said, hey, seller, if you want your price, I need my terms. Because again, I'm a buy and hold guy. If I have to overpay a little bit to make you feel better, but you give me the right terms so I can hold forever, I don't care. So again, you got to get comfortable. You have to have confidence. You have to be able to pitch this. Folks, if you don't know what we're talking about here, Stephen Dow did a 90-minute deep dive with me. Look in a playlist called Deep Dive and just put it on play and watch it, because we answered everybody's question. It is all in there. So I want to thank you. I know you took a lot of phone calls when we dropped this, because people are like, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. And I'm sure people just consumed
we had some deep dive, meaningful phone calls for sure. So it's a longer explanation in most cases, but once they get it's a simple, just dynamic. It's just using the tool, which is our loan product, in a different way. And then, understanding the certain features that you can, again, pull a lever, so to speak, to accommodate, again, a lower, down payment, higher leverage, all that good stuff. So it's starting to really take off, because now, after the longer conversations, they know how to present it. Sellers are now like, oh, that makes sense if given the right circumstances. So it's just now trying to see what the comfort level, the position of how much the seller's willing to carry, what makes sense for them as well. Obviously, more the seller carries, the better for the buyer, because the terms and payment and cash flow. But that's where we're right now, is in the middle of those types of kind of negotiations. Whereas in the beginning, it was like a longer phone call. Nobody knew what was going on. It was just,
what is this thing?
But, yes, exactly. So no, things are just heading in the right direction, because it's really started to, I think, get some traction, because people are calling me, not even having to say, hey, what's this about? It's like, hey, I've got to sell it. I need pricing. I want some numbers. Boom, 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 boom. So
nice. Yeah. So let me wrap this up with trying to get me some leads. So if you are a homeowner or you own some apartments or whatever, you have at least 50% equity and you want to sell, reach out to me. We don't have to go through an agent. If you are going through an agent, totally okay. We will structure the deal to make sure your agent is paid. If you are an agent and bring this to me, I will give you both sides of the commission. I don't need it. I don't want it. Get your 6%. So again, 50% equity or more. I'm a buy and hold investor. It must cash flow day one. We will talk about, your price, my terms, kind of that combination. Again, must cash flow. I'm going to look to get at least a 9% yield on my money. Let's just talk about it. It's a quick 10-minute phone call. Very easy to do. If I can help, I'm here. If not, no harm, no foul. We'll just be friends and keep going. So Stephen, thank you for all you do. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I know we're going to add some assets, and with only 10% down, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, we are actually doing, I've got a deal in right now. We're just waiting for the appraisal to come in, but they got the seller to take the, carry the second. And they're just coming in with 10%. So,
Nice.
Again, that was a referral actually from Larry. I don't know if we
shout out Larry.
Kind of when we shout out Larry when we first kind of started doing this, but in any case, we've got an actual deal coming in, same setup. So it's really starting to grab.
Well, if somebody wanted to reach out to you and say, hey, give me some of this, I want some of it, what should they do?
Again, just SDAO@velocitymortgage.com. In the subject line, please put the acronym ORAAT, just so that it makes it past the firewall. Subject or the body of the email, maybe just a brief description of what you're looking for, property type or address would be great, or at least the city and state to make sure we lend there, your mid-FICO score, best phone number to reach you back at, typically 24, 48 hours, I'll be in touch. Other than that, that's, looking forward to talking to people.
Very cool. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, man.